Hello, BookTube. Well, ain't this more civilized? We're indoors. And I've got a mail haul for you. I thought we'd just get right into starting with this little one. What is this? From Harvard University Press. Oh, fantastic. I was hoping for this book. It comes out in November. It's by Rich Savin Williams, and it sounds fascinating. It's called Mostly Straight, Sexual Fluidity Among Men. Most of us assume that sexuality is fixed. Either you're straight, gay, or bisexual. Yet an increasing number of young men today say that those categories are too rigid. They are, they insist, mostly straight. They're straight, but they feel a slight but enduring romantic or sexual desire for men. To the uninitiated, this may not make sense. How can a man be mostly straight? Rich Savin Williams introduces us to this new world by bringing us the stories of young men who consider themselves to be mostly straight but sexually fluid. Yet, by hearing about their lives, we discover a radically new way to understand sexual and romantic development that upends what we thought we knew about men. And I think it's fascinating. I read a book last year called, I think it was called Not Gay. I will try to remember to link the info. It was great, and it was along the same lines of the what the 21st century is making pioneering steps towards understanding is that human sexuality is a lot more complicated than it has been commonly perceived. I think that's fascinating, and it wasn't all that long ago. It was in the lifetime of some of the people who are watching me now when the idea of Harvard University Press publishing a book on a subject like that would have been unthinkable. So I consider that progress. All subjects are fascinating. Let's study them all. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. This is, this is not anything I requested, but it's a hot button issue. This is by Erwin Chemerinsky and Howard Gilman. I think we saw the advanced copy of this. This is Free Speech on Campus from Yale University Press. The subtitle, Can Colleges Protect Free Speech and Provide Inclusive Campuses at the Same Time? The answer to that is an obvious yes, but you can't do it without hurting people's feelings. And if the be-all and end-all, if the whole goal and effort and sole rationalization of all of your policies is to avoid hurting anyone's feelings, then you can't possibly do it. Can't do both. I'm firmly of the opinion that college is for the purpose of hurting feelings. So, yeah, I'm afraid the campus part of this book is going to get very little traction with me. College is not really very useful for your professional life unless you're in one of the hard sciences. Otherwise, it has two main functions. The one is to rip open the little mind that you go there with. It's to destroy your preconceptions and make you think about everything anew, even stuff that's uncomfortable for you to think about. And, of course, the other thing is friendships, sexual and otherwise, that you will find there. If you're the least bit outgoing, that will be amazing. They will be an amazing experience, the like of which you will literally never have again. So, but anyway, this comes out in mid-September, and I'm looking forward to it too. So we have two relatively hot-button sociology issues so far. Let's move on. See what this next one is. Oh my, it's another social issue. Good Lord, this one looks great. I didn't request it. By Jeff Goodell, and it's called The Water Will Come, Rising Seas, Sinking Cities, and the Remaking of the Civilized World. Look at that cover. Good Lord. What if Atlantis wasn't a myth, but an early precursor to a new age of great flooding? Across the globe, scientists and civilians alike are noticing rapidly rising sea levels and higher tides, pushing more and more water directly into places where we live, which is true. A huge percentage of major human cities are in floodplains, built that way for obvious convenience, at a time when no one thought that the ocean levels would rise by 5 feet in a short amount of time, in a geological eye blink. Now we're looking at that. We're looking at that's going to happen in your lifetime. Well, what happens to all of Nantucket? What happens to all of Cape Cod? What happens to Miami? What happens to half the cities that you could name if the sea level rises by 5 feet? Wow, okay, so this comes out in October, and I hadn't heard about it, but now I'm eager to read it. I wonder if that's going to be the trend for this whole thing. Sociology instead of history or fiction. Wouldn't object to it at all. These have been strong candidates all throughout here. So what's this next one? Wow, okay, this is another one that I did not request. This is great. This comes out in late September. It's a work of history. It's by Erica Rappaport, and it's called A Thirst for Empire, How Tea Shaped the Modern World. Well, all of you in the UK, all of a sudden your ears perked up. Has somebody actually sent a copy of this to Simon Savage? Because if they didn't, they should. Who is this? Princeton? I know two of you are listening. It's this guy called Simon Savage. You really want him to like your book. Wow. So tea is one of the most popular commodities in the world. Over centuries, profits from its growth and sales funded wars, fueled colonization, and its cultivation brought about massive changes in land use, labor system, market practices, social hierarchies, the effect of which are with us even today. And that's all true. I only have to think about it for a minute to realize that's all true. Wow, this could be fantastic. Who is Erica Rappaport? Oh, she has a very smart face. I would want to learn from that face. Let's see who she is. She's a professor of history at the University of California in Santa Barbara. What happens to them if the ocean rises 5 feet? She's out of a job. And she's the author of Shopping for Pleasure, Women in the Making of London's West End, and the co-editor of Consuming Behaviors. Wow, fantastic. Thirst for Empire. I'm doing more author interviews now. And of course, my automatic question is, I wonder if she'd be willing to talk to me. Let's see. Although the Terra Incognita that I have not covered yet is, would it not one of these authors be willing to talk to me for book 2? I haven't even thought about that yet when I ask anybody. These are romances. Good. These are Berkeley romances. The first one is Karen Rose, Monster in the Closet. Seems more like a thriller than a romance. Murdered mother, a silent witness, and a daughter's worst nightmare. So there'll be a hunky detective or something like that, but the focus of it will be the thriller, the crime procedural. But the next one is Christine Feehan, and she never lets you down. This is Dark Legacy. Hubba hubba. This is a Carpathian novel. I've mentioned these people from the very beginning of my channel. It's a series about supernatural beings who are all also super sexy. Kind of like BookTube. They're always a treat to read. And then the last thing is a box. It's a little box, but still. Let's see what we have here to wrap up this book haul. Oh, it's from Oxford. What is Oxford doing? Oh, okay, fantastic. Great. Okay, we're going to end on a somber note, but this has been a kind of a somber note mail haul. This comes out this month. I don't know exactly the date. I did once upon a time. This is The Perpetrators by Günter Louis. This is the world of Holocaust killers with a labor gang there on the cover. Wow. Monsters exist, but they are too few in number to be truly dangerous. More dangerous are the common men, the functionaries ready to believe and to act without asking questions. That's Primo Levi. Primo Levi's words disclosed a chilling truth. Assigning blame to hideous political leaders such as Hitler, Himmler, or Heydrich is necessary but not sufficient to explain how the Holocaust could have happened. These leaders relied on many thousands of ordinary men and women who made the Nazi machine operate, members of the killing squads, civilian employees of the SS, the drivers of gas trucks, and the personnel of the death factories such as Auschwitz. Why did those ordinary people collaborate and willingly become mass murderers? In Perpetrators, the author tries to answer one of history's most disturbing questions, and he does it in very little space. Wow, okay. All right, well, of course, the super sensitive question here connected to this that you have to wonder what he's going to deal with are the Jewish prisoners who, in exchange for a little extra time or a tiny bit of extra food, were willing to be part of the machinery at Auschwitz and other death factories. Talking about them has gotten many a historian in trouble, even though we have ample records. So I'll be curious to know. I'll look for that when I read this, but I'll look for lots of other things too. If it's short, then it's going to be mostly ideological, and that could make it really, really good. I wonder if it's a translation, though. No translators listed. So maybe not. Okay, great. All right, fantastic. Also, I happen to notice in the copyright information that the author was born in 1923. So in addition to being packed, it might be wise. It might be very wise. And I kind of like to know that going in, although it wouldn't make a difference if it's there. I'll notice it. So there we go. So we swing all over the spectrum on this one. I almost hate putting these last two together. We're perpetrators, and also the new Christine Fian, but the books aren't to blame. And then Thirst for Empire, about how tea shaped the world. Then The Water Will Come, Free Speech on Campus, Mostly Straight, and a romantic thriller called Monster in the Closet. So there you go. A nice varied mail haul, something that I certainly can't do when I'm out and about in the outside world. But I'll dig into these and I'll see you soon. Maybe soon. I might do more videos tonight. I don't know. I'm kind of in the mood. But I'll let you go for now. Thank you, BookTube.